समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
It's a leap of faith on my part to presume that everybody watching this or reading this has watched Aditya Dhar's Dhurandhar and also Siddharth Anand's Pathaan of 2023. The second Pathaan is probably the biggest earner, the biggest grosser among Hindi originals. The first, that is Dhurandhar, is catching up fast. It also has a second innings of sorts coming up, a pre-announced sequel on 19th March 2026. I take it that not everybody watches movies, but might be familiar with the buzz, debate and controversies over both the films. The controversy over Pathaan was confined to Deepika Padukone making her first appearance dressed in a saffron bikini to the song Besharam Rang or Shameless Color in the background. The angry ones drew the connection, the angry people drew the connection, demanded the scene be deleted because it insulted Hinduism, or maybe just that they did not mind the bikini, but could the color be changed? That's very possible with one flick on the keyboard in these days of high-tech cinema. Protests, however, died soon. Almost 2 weeks after its release, Dhurandhar is still running to full halts across the country, many drawing repeat watchers. It's been very commercially successful. There is no problem commercially. It has just been caught in an enormous controversy, and not just on social media. Its critics in mainstream media, in serious broadsheet op-eds, have widely described it as a government-sponsored BJP propaganda, warmongering, Islamophobic, or all of the above. I'm only focusing on the two films in the sense that they straddle politics, nationalism, and religion. A quick listing will give us an idea of why one was mostly hailed as a clean, a fantasy entertainer, what with VFX stunts, humans good or evil chasing each other in skies, riding jetpacks, etc. Ask no questions, or as we say on Holi, Burana Mano, take no offense, this is just a movie. Burana Mano, movie hai. On the three polarizing issues, politics, nationalism and religion, Pathaan was a cop-out. However, the list first. Number one on politics, the film Pathaan, though on an India-Pakistan theme, was clinically devoid of politics. It was as if two good guys from rival spy agencies joined hands to save humanity, or at least 1/6 of it, that is all of us Indians. You, of course, know that I use guys as a metaphor. Two good guys, I said, I use guys as a metaphor and won't dare to call Deepika Padukone that. In short, there was no India versus Pakistan there. Number two, nationalism. Nationalism was fully kept out. Not only was this India partnering with Pakistan, even the nationality and religion of Shah Rukh Khan's character was kept vague. He was brought up by Afghan foster parents in a village under American bombing. The bad guys were the Americans, aren't they always? And everybody else was a victim. India faced a terror threat that could wipe out most of its population with a bug so destructive, only Putin's Moscow would have had it in storage. So a Pakistani and an Indian spy found common cause to join hands and protect humanity. It obviously didn't hurt that one looked like Shah Rukh Khan and the other Deepika Padukone. The threat to India did not come from a Pakistani or even someone from a mythical Republic of Mogambo or Shakal. It was from an Indian traitor, an agent gone rogue for personal reasons. The theme, in fact, would pass the test of an elite school model MUN event. Number three, religion was such a no-no in that film that to date we don't know what Pathaan was or what even his full name was. Nobody in the film ever said anything rude about any faith nor needed to. The terrorists' motive was personal revenge, no impulse of religion, nationalism or ideology. All three of these combined in Pathaan gave both the liberals and the nationalists a buffet of alibis and room to hide, plenty of room to hide. Both could dismiss it as good, non-serious fun, just a movie after all, paisa vasool, value for money. We can see that Pathaan and Shah Rukh Khan had reasons to follow this route because at that point that film was also needed to give a message to audiences in India. A presumed Muslim hero rising as a savior of India was also a contribution of that film. So that film had its reasons. I am therefore not making any judgment on that film. That stands in its own place. Dhurandhar is in a completely different place altogether. Dhurandhar is the exact opposite. That is also the reason it is among the most significant political movies at scale in the history of Bollywood as yet. Let's put Dhurandhar to the same 3-point test. On politics, its abiding theme is that there is a pre and post 2014 history to how India has responded to terrorism, which always comes from Pakistan. In fact, this Sanyal character, read Ajit Doval, Sanyal character says that any terror anywhere in the world comes from Pakistan, especially say in Latin America and other parts of the world who might have objection over this, that they've been denied the credit of also being active terrorists. Nevertheless, that's an aside, that's not the issue. Dhurandhar has an unapologetically political theme. This is a celebration of the Modi-Doval era, and because there is a sequel coming, you ain't seen nothing yet. Next, nationalism is the strongest impulse of Dhurandhar. So strong that even convicted prisoners serving life sentences or on death row would be willing to train, infiltrate and embed the gangs working with the ISI in Pakistan. Pakistan is the enemy without doubt. India is the victim equally without doubt, and that is unqualified and perpetual. It's just that Modi's India has now decided not to play victim. Call it nationalism on steroids. And third, religion. There is zero doubt that the perpetrators are all Muslims acting in the name of their faith and for a country built over that foundation. The victims, who they call cowardly, are Hindus who had pre-Modi been so timid. In one large state bordering Nepal, for example, fake currency mafias are from one community and any action against them will bring political intervention. So wait for a strong leader to rise. I suppose Yogi Adityanath gets a mention here. These fundamental differences on these three key issues, politics, nationalism and religion, that make Dhurandhar that much more controversial and polarizing than Pathaan. If Khan's film gave both conservatives and liberals room to hide, Dhurandhar extends no such courtesy. The nationalist can celebrate, the liberal can say, what the hell has gone wrong with my cinema? Aditya Dhar has ripped open the tent of hypocrisy and turned the knife, which the turning of the knife, by the way, will be an act of violence of a much lower order than what you would see in this film. I am curious, however, if the ISI won't see Dhurandhar with some disappointment. To suggest that the ISI needs the Liari underworld to source weapons and explosives is an insult to what isn't just one of the world's most sophisticated, subversive, violent and empowered spy agencies, but also one that holds enough weapons in its stores to arm 12611 sized attacks anywhere within a month. I will take you back to the Bombay, as it was called then, Bombay Blasts of 1993. Veteran anti-terror cop M.N. Singh keeps reminding me that in the post-bombings raids, they recovered 71 rifles of AK-47 or AK-56 categories. This is not counting the ones destroyed by Sanjay Dutt's friend Karsi Adajania in his foundry. He spent 2 years in jail in his 80s for destruction of evidence over this. Add to this 3.5 tons of RDX, enough to blow up every skyscraper in Mumbai then, and 500 grenades. This when the entire Maharashtra police did not have one AK-47 rifles. Boatloads of more rifles, grenades, RDX were caught on the western coast. Some customs officers even went to jail for complicity. If the ISI could ship all of this in 1993, they wouldn't be counting on the Karachi underworld for mere 2611, sending 10 terrorists to India. The underworld they counted on was always in India, Dawood Ibrahim being its prime representative. This is the most intriguing aspect of the politics of Dhurandhar. Plots like the IC-814 hijack, Parliament attack, and 2611 were planned in the mosques and seminaries of Muridke and Bahawalpur and not in the sort of religiously anodyne, hard-drinking adda of a Liari gangster. Least of all, a leader of the Baloch. Would the ISI even trust a Baloch Sardar? If Aditya Dhar really wanted to light up an anti-Muslim sentiment, he only had to set up the plot in Jaish or LET headquarters, all places of religion. That would be factual too. What's the reason? Maybe the sequel will give us an idea. However, Dhurandhar's creative contribution lies in the fact that it has ripped apart the hypocrisy of not naming names. Indian cinema going ahead will take the cue. Is it propaganda? Is the film propaganda? That was also every James Bond, John Le Carre or Tom Clancy plot. It was all propaganda in a way. In the Cold War era, all of these, Bond, Le Carre, Tom Clancy cinema, all of this was seen as the West's soft power. Dhurandhar now has made as much buzz in Pakistan as in India. If anything, in the new competitive war of the memes, it has also resumed some conversation between two peoples, including some humor. In conclusion, in its direct, extremely violent and rude way, Dhurandhar marks the rise of the new generation of Indian soft power.